This episode is brought to you by Betty Bars. Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia. I'm an Auckland wedding photographer and your host. If you've ever thought about having a destination wedding or just love hearing the behind the scenes of what it takes to make that happen, then this episode is for you. I'm joined by the amazing Iyia Liu, who you may know as an entrepreneur and influencer, and today she's sharing all about her Bali wedding. From the surprise proposal to what it takes to plan an overseas wedding and all the funny, unforgettable moments on the day. Iyia is definitely a chill bride. I loved how relaxed she was and just hearing her honest take on the whole experience. She was super transparent about how much money it costs. She also shared a lot of this content online, so go and check that out if you haven't already, and how much further your money can actually go in a country like Indonesia. I love how she really focused on her guests and making sure they had the best time and making an experience out of the whole wedding trip. I think you're going to love this chat as much as I did, so enjoy episode 113 with Iyia. Hi Iyia, thank you so much for joining me on my podcast today. So excited to chat to you all about your wedding.
Oh, yay. Thank you so much for having me.
So to get started with, if we could just go back to the story of how you guys met and a bit of your life together.
Okay, how we met. I'm pretty sure we met, I'd say 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. We met at the Takafuna Food and Wine Festival, just through like a mutual friend. And we were like dancing, just messaged him after and was like, hey, do you want to keep hanging out? That's it. That's the story,
So
basically,
good. Love
in a
that. Love it in
nutshell.
person meeting. No dating
Yeah.
apps. Yeah.
I feel like I never reply to messages. I'm just like busy but I like to hang out with people.
Yeah, so good. Something caught your attention there. Yeah, love that. So you guys were together quite a while and then got engaged. Can you tell us a bit about the proposal story?
So, this is a good one. We were in Bali on a family holiday. So his whole family was there. We were at a Italian restaurant, and his younger brother, was like, "Let's go out for a vape break." And I said, "Okay." So me, Jordan, and his brother are on the deck having a vape break, and then his brother goes, Should we sit down? Sit down and take a photo?" And I thought, "Why? We're vaping. What?" Like, what would be the purpose of this? But I went, okay, we'll sit down and take a photo. And then I turn around and Jordan is on one knee, and his brother's taking a photo. So yeah, now it's made sense. But I thought, really, we're on a vape break.
Amazing timing. Yeah, that's hilarious. I guess got the surprise factor there then for sure.
Definitely. And when we watched the video back, he wouldn't even let me show anyone because he was like, he's wearing a singlet, he's wearing flip flops. I'm like, yeah, you planned this like this.
Yeah, so good. Were you one of those girls that had kind of dreamed about your wedding? Did you have a vision in mind what you wanted? What were those kind of first steps starting to plan?
I maybe because I'm Chinese, I feel like weddings aren't a bigger thing, a big as thing in China. Or maybe I just didn't grow around with like all the wedding hype. I never really even thought I would get married. I just didn't think it would happen to me. No, I never really dreamt about it. But what I wanted was for everybody to have a really good time, and yeah, just like have. I wanted to like stretch it out. I was like, one day's too short. Has to be like stretched out.
Yeah, so good. So did you kind of look at a few venues? Did you consider doing it in New Zealand at first, or was Bali kind of like immediate decision?
I think I did. I definitely looked into New Zealand. I had a look at a few venues, and I had some of my friends send me their spreadsheets of how much they spent and at what venues, and sort of like the breakdown of the costings, just so I could get a better idea of, do I do it at a venue? Do I hire a space and like bring all my own stuff in, or do I do it overseas? And I remember seeing my friend's breakdown. She spent 120 grand on Waiheke Island at Mudbrick. And I remember seeing that and going, that is insane. Like, I'm absolutely not spending that much. That's crazy. And I ended up spending the same amount as her. But yeah, when I first saw the figure, I was like, there's no way I'm spending that amount. on the day.
Probably got a bit more bang for your buck the way that you did it as well, which we'll definitely chat about. But yeah, I think such a good option. If you can go overseas, you can often get a lot more than New Zealand weddings. It can be really expensive, yeah, especially Waiheke and I mean a lot of Auckland venues as well. But yeah, interesting that you kind of had that thought process. You mentioned a few things there, but what were the most important elements on the day for you, like your top priorities?
So when we were doing the planning, so I got a planner and I pretty much just reiterated to them like I don't want people to wait. That's my priority. I just want it to be like very fast. I don't want people to get bored, basically. So even when we did the run sheet, I just made everything like quite concise. I was like, no waiting time. It's going from like this to this to this to this. Everyone's gonna have a very good time the whole time. No one's allowed to be bored. That's my priority.
Love that. Yeah, so good. Just thinking about that guest experience. And yeah, you probably have been to a few weddings where you're waiting around a lot. So yeah, love that you were thinking of that. Can you tell us a bit about the dress experience for you? Shopping, finding it, getting it made. How did you find that?
I have a weird dress story. So I actually just saw a girl that I know post on her story, and we're not like super close. And she was selling her gown, and she had got her gown from Palace Couture. She'd flown to Sydney. She'd done all the fittings, and it would have cost her like 20 grand. So she was selling for half the price, and I thought she's only worn it once. We're not that close friends. I'll get it altered a little bit anyway. And so I just bought her dress. Pre doing that though, I did consider getting one made. So I went into a couple of New Zealand bridal designers. Although I had a few friends pretty like tell me that the dress that they got designed wasn't what they had in mind. So I had two very good friends tell me that, like very close to the wedding, they saw the dress and they were like, "This is not what I envisioned," or they tried it on, they're like, "This is not right," and they had to buy a second dress. So I was like, I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered with that. What if I just get one that is already made, like not custom, basically?
It's hard to, when you get it made, I guess you don't really see what it's actually going to be like till it is made, which is like so close to the day that you can't change it. So, yeah, interesting. I love that you went the secondhand route. I feel like more people should do that because, yeah, it's literally been worn for one day, even maybe like 5 or 6 hours
Hmm.
sometimes. So, and did you have a bridal party? How was that process choosing them? Did you find that quite easy?
Yeah, so I had five girls. Yeah, I had five girls. Four of them were just like close friends that I've been close with for like a long time, pretty much. And then one was my sister. And so my husband sort of like did the same thing. He considered having four of his brothers, but then that sort of like takes up the whole space. So then he just ended up doing five friends. So yeah, 10 of us together. And was it easy to pick? Yeah, I think it was reasonably easy to pick. These are all like people I've been close with for a very long time. I feel like I've got friends now that I probably spend more time with, but I've also got history with these people. So,
So good. And how about the guest list? Did you find that tricky to narrow down?
well, we sort of figured like if it's overseas, there's going to be like a natural fallout. There's going to be people naturally dropping because it's expensive and like it's got to uphold your life. So I think we invited 90 something people, like close to 100. And actually, a few months before the wedding, the venue called me or messaged on WhatsApp. Was like, "Oh, the capacity is 60." It's like, "Hold on.
Mm.
You never told me the capacity was 60." So a few people dropped off anyway, and we ended up landing on 65. So it all sort of all worked out.
So they let you have the extra five then?
Yeah, that was fine. They squished, but
Yeah.
when they first told me 60, I was like, hold on. And am I now gonna have to uninvite people? Like
Yeah, that would
what's
be
the
awkward.
solution?
Yeah, nice number in the end, definitely. Feels like kind of intimate, or like you can have that quality time with everyone on the day. And yeah, like you say, kind of bigger experience being overseas and more around the wedding. Can you kind of run us through maybe that sort of week leading up to it and then into the day, how it all went, and yeah, any highlights or favorite moments?
The week leading up, so I started packing probably like 2 or 3 months in advance, mostly because I wanted to have like holiday outfits. So not really for the wedding, for holiday outfits. And then the week of just getting all the beauty stuff, appointments done, and then I didn't have to do very much because I had a planner, the planner in Bali, which was incredible. They had a huge team. It was like one lady just kept in touch with me the whole lead up. She had the planning form, and then when we were actually there on the day, I think it was like 12 people in her team. It's
Yeah.
really cost effective. I think it was like 2 grand for all the lead up and on the day. What I enjoyed on the day, I feel like the photos. So we did the photos first, like we didn't do them afterwards,
Like
after
a
the ceremony.
first look kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, more so again, like I didn't want to ruin the experience when the actual wedding was on. I feel like that definitely got tiring. You know, it's tiring. It's like again, again, again. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, just done this, just done
It's
this.
tough being a model, honestly.
I know. But then so I feel like that was maybe even though it was great to get the photos and the videos, that was like very tiring. And also you're like waiting for you're just waiting. Like, okay,
Build
it's
up.
yeah, build up. It's nearly happening. And then this you walk down the aisle and it's kind of awkward because everyone's staring at you. So I'm like, I don't know where to look. Like I don't want to. I'm not looking at people. I'm just gonna look down at my husband, and that goes pretty quickly. The ceremony goes quickly, and then you have the dinner. The dinner was absolutely crazy. We had open bar, and I was like, how did everyone get so drunk so early? Everyone was like annihilated. Uh,
Yeah.
when we got our wedding video back, my husband actually made me cut pretty much all of him out because he was so embarrassed because he was like that drunk. Which I thought was funny. I thought the video was funny, but
It's been
he
a
was
good
like,
time.
oh, he was mortified. It was hilarious. The dinner was I think every single person was like laughing and just had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks like an amazing party from your photos that I've seen and stuff. So good. Yeah. Was there any kind of special details or things you did that kind of personalized the day for you?
The one thing I really wanted for this is for the after party was smoke guns and fireworks. I was like, that's like my one request. It's pretty much my main request. So yeah, we didn't do like a dance or anything. We literally just came out, had like shooting smoke guns and just fireworks going off, which was like a really cool ending. So, well,
So good. Make a statement for sure.
there's no way you could do that in New Zealand, I don't think. Could you?
Yeah, I
Maybe.
feel like the rules are a bit looser in Bali, so you can get
Hmm.
away with a lot more
Yeah.
as well.
Planning a wedding is no small feat. From sunrise to sunset, you're on the move, managing details big and small. But amidst all the excitement, keeping yourself nourished shouldn't be a struggle. That's where Betty bars come in. Imagine a delicious protein bar crafted for your busiest days, with every ingredient chosen to satiate, give gentle nourishment, and a happy, balanced tummy. Betty bars combine plant-based protein, fiber, and probiotics, creating a blend that not only fuels you but keeps you feeling satisfied and energized throughout the day. Choose between caramel cookie dough, strawberry cheesecake, and chocolate fudge with cacao nibs. These aren't just any protein bars, they're low in sugar, gluten free, keto friendly, and designed to go easy on your digestion, so you can focus on everything from cake tastings to dress fittings without a worry. Betty Bars are here to help you thrive from one bridal appointment to the next. Keep one in your bag and feel the difference that Betty brings to your wedding prep routine. Betty Bars have kindly given us a code for 20% off at checkout. Go to goodbetty.co and use code Lydia20. That's LYDIA20. Thank you so much to Betty Bars for supporting this episode of the Kiwi Wedding Podcast.
Did you kind of feel any pressure, I guess, from like social media and all this wedding content out there, and even kind of having a following yourself for your wedding to look a certain way?
I guess when you see weddings, you're like, oh, you do want like, all the flowers, all the everything. But then also when I look at the money breakdown, I'm like, also, this is for one day. I also don't want to stress myself out and go into debt or anything to put this on. So actually, there were things that I asked for. Like I asked for draping on the ceiling, and I asked for quite a few decorative things, and then I ended up stripping them back. When I got all the quotes back, I was like, actually, these things are essential. Remove the draping because the draping was like 2.5 grand for the draping. A couple of other things I was like, I don't think they're absolutely necessary, and I'd rather just yeah. I was like the venue's already beautiful. It's going to be great as is, so I sort of just had to be like, no more.
just stick to what's true to you. There's so much you can kind of get caught up with, or that you see online. It's like, that's amazing, or Pinterest and Instagram and everything. But yeah, it's like what actually really matters, or are people even going to notice that,
Hmm.
like your guests and stuff?
I'm like, the state of everyone at that dinner, nobody would have even seen the draping. Like, absolutely no
Yeah.
one.
What did you find the hardest part about the whole wedding planning process? Is there anything you look back on and regret or would have done a little differently?
I honestly had a really good experience, I think, because I had the planner. I didn't have to do anything. She literally gave me this form with everything. She just told me to fill out the form. Uh, so yeah, it was really smooth. I think it's worth having. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Planner definitely makes things easier. Yeah, just having them worried about all those details. So
I
good.
know. I was like, I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, love that. Can we talk about the budget a little bit? I love how you kind of shared quite openly online about this, but yeah, how much do you spend? Were you surprised about how much weddings cost? Can you kind of talk us through that?
Yeah, so I remember when I first saw my friend's budget of 120 grand at Mudbrick, I was like, no, that's insane. She's crazy. I'm gonna spend 60 grand. And I set myself that budget. I was like, this is your budget here. And so I found one venue in Bali called Ungasan. So I saw someone else I know got married there. The pricing was like double we ended up getting married. So the first venue was a no. Second, I was like, okay, this is fine. And then so we already paid the deposit. The deposit wasn't too bad. And so then you're sort of locked in. And then as you get a little bit further on, they're like, oh, but it doesn't include this. It doesn't include that. Oh, so you've only paid for 2 nights accommodation. You should make it more so that you don't have to move around. Like, so they started to snowball the costs. Yeah. And then I ended up being like, okay, well, then that dress is 10 grand. So that significantly bumps it up. And I think everything just unexpectedly is more. So yeah, towards the end, we planned on doing live band. So cut the live band, did not do a cake. We used our family member as a celebrant, removed the draping, removed some decor to the end. But at the end, I was like, no, I'm sick of saying yes to like additional things. Like this is it, no more.
Yeah, and I can imagine if you did kind of the same wedding but in New Zealand, it would have cost more as well. Like you do just get better deals even for like food and alcohol, and yeah, maybe you kind of stay at the venue a bit longer in Bali, but I don't know, it's more like that overall experience. Did you
Yeah,
find
you're
that?
so right.
Yeah, did you kind of have a few different events like leading up to the wedding and then the after party and stuff as well?
We didn't have anything leading up, and my main reasoning was because a lot of people get sick in Bali. They all get like Bali belly, like nausea, funny tummies. So I was like, look, I'm gonna have the wedding the second day that everyone arrives, and everyone's gonna be nice and not sick for the wedding. And then if they get sick, I'm sorry. So that was my thinking. But actually, by the wedding, which was only the day two, some people were already sick.
Crazy.
Even
Yeah.
the photographer.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was
you
like,
had,
it was like
Esme and Logan, didn't you?
Ismay. So
Yeah.
even Ismay was like taking photos, vomiting, taking
Oh,
photos and vomiting.
no.
So yeah, that's the really negative part about Bali.
Yeah, that's so tough. I've been once before and didn't get sick, which is amazing. But you hear so many horror stories, and then even I've had a few people on the podcast that got married in Bali as well, and then they're like, and then the next day everyone got sick. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. You just like can't avoid it sometimes. You try and be so good not drinking the water and everything, but yeah, it seems just a bit unavoidable
I
for some
know.
people. So yeah, I love that you kind of planned around that as much as you could.
Yeah.
And did you guys go on honeymoon straight away? Was that kind of your honeymoon rolled into one, or what did planning that look like?
Well, actually, this trip was really unromantic because we've invited, 65 people. We have to spend time with them because they've all come from like UK, Australia, like they're coming from everywhere. So we've spent every single day with people the whole time. There was even one night we had an argument because I was like, can we do one thing by ourselves? So I planned a dinner, and then I was like, can we just do one thing? One thing by ourselves. Which, yeah, but anyway, it's fine. I think we actually are going to a friend's wedding in August. in Fiji. So we thought, like, okay, that'll be our honeymoon.
Oh,
Maybe.
so good. Something to look forward to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any kind of helpful resources that you used during the planning process? I mean, I imagine your planner would have been amazing for finding vendors over there and everything. But yeah, anything else that kind of helped with inspiration or stuff like that?
I honestly reckon it was the planner. The planner found me pretty much everything. I did find a few of my vendors myself, like my videographer and my makeup artist, just like on Google, and then checking out their Instagram accounts and then checking out the websites like portfolios and things. But yeah, the planner did pretty much everything. Yeah, run down, like gave me suggestions and timings, uh, pretty much everything. Like if I remember I had my ceremony a bit earlier in the day, I think like 1 or 2 p.m. and she was like, "No, that's a terrible idea because it's so hot." So just little things. It's like I would not have known. Well, I would have known, but I would not have thought about it. Mm.
Absolutely. So helpful, especially if you're getting married overseas, just having that on the ground person organizing everything. And then, yeah, they obviously have so much experience there as well. So giving you suggestions and all of that.
Yeah, really good. And I remember even when the ceremony was sort of happening, they were ushering everyone, getting everyone on buggies, on carts, like, you guys go now, you guys go now, following the time sheet. I'm like, hold on, what would I have even done if I didn't have them? What are people
Mm.
doing without the planner? How do they know when to go out?
Honestly, they're chaotic half the time, or it
Yeah.
ends up being like your friends or family members trying to like make things happen or like move chairs and all those little things you don't think about. I think, yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I always recommend a planner or at least like an on the day coordinator to just like execute the timeline really, because who's going to do that? You don't want people kind of asking you a million questions. You're just trying to
Totally.
enjoy your day. Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the day coordinator, definitely.
You've given some great advice. Is there anything else you would say to a couple that are planning their wedding at the moment?
I really, I reckon Bali was a really great place to do it. You're so right for the value. Like getting the planner for like 2 grand. Pretty much all the vendors were really cost effective. The alcohol there was cost effective. And then you can go to all the beach clubs and things after. Like it was really, really fun. So if anyone's thinking of Bali, I would absolutely do it in Bali.
It sounds like you had a relatively stress free process, and yeah, planner being a key point in that, I think. And I don't know, I think some people have this perception that doing it overseas can be really stressful, just not being on the ground organizing it. But yeah, a lot of them are venues and planners over there are set up for that. So great option, I think, can definitely save money and make more of a experience and trip out of it for all your guests too.
Yeah, you're so right because like if you do it at a venue as well, it's like everything's there. I mean, if you're doing it somewhere with like a blank, what's it called, like doing it from scratch, that's more tricky.
Yeah, like a marquee or something,
Mm,
which people think, oh, we'll do it on our property, that'll be cheaper. But no, you end up spending more because, yeah, you're basically building it from scratch, bringing
mm-hmm.
everything in. So, love the Bali option. And what is married life like now? Do you feel like you got any of the post wedding blues?
I guess we've already been living together for 6 years. We've got the 2 kids already. Feel like we already felt married. I guess we're not like a couple that don't have kids yet, or maybe are just moved in together. So yeah, no. I think what's cool now is we're both glad that the wedding bills are
Yeah,
done.
it's a little bit of
And
a
now
relief.
we can move on with our lives. We can start
Yeah.
building things back up.
Mm.
There was like a point where I was like, this is horrible. Like every time I get an incoming payment, it's out and out. This is frustrating.
Oh, so true. No, I love that. It's definitely a bit of sense of relief not to be having that, yeah, leading up. So good. And yeah, you're already like a little family, but nice to kind of make that commitment too.
Yeah, totally.
I was going to ask as well, did you find that quite special being able to have your kids at your wedding? Because it's not always that way around, but yeah, how was it kind of like involving them in the day?
I thought they were going to be difficult, like grumpy. But they had a really good time, and then when watching the video back was really cute, having them in there, and having them walk down the aisle. At first we said no kids, and then actually I was like, better let them walk down the aisle. It was like, yeah, really nice to have them there. And I have these by my bedside. So our celebrant is was my husband's uncle. And he got our vows framed, which was really cute.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So special. Yeah, I love that. It's cool to kind of have those memories as a family. I don't know, obviously people do things in any order these days with like getting married or kids or whatever, but it's quite special to be able to have them there on your day. So cool. Not too chaotic.
Yeah, it was good. I was contemplating like no kids at all, but yeah.
Amazing. It's been lovely to chat to you today. Is there anything else that we missed or, yeah, any pearls of wisdom you want to add as we wrap up?
I think that's most of it. I probably would just I mean, a lot of people know my personality is quite relaxed anyway.
Yeah.
Um, because if something goes wrong, like what are you gonna do? You know, it is what it is. It was actually raining in the morning and I freaked out a little bit. But then I thought if it rains, like I'm not gonna be able to do anything about it anyway, so get over it, yeah.
So good. Yeah, I feel like you've got the perfect temperament, no like bridezilliness. You want to say that, just like go with the flow, whatever happens. And yeah, if you can have that attitude about your wedding, then that's ideal because there's always little things that go wrong or not how you expect. So yeah,
Yeah, just have fun, right?
yeah, so good. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.